folks, welcome to another episode. Actually, let me pause that. This is season two. This is the premiere episode of season two. So I want to thank everybody for watching the first season. We got a lot of great stuff planned for this season. And without further ado, I'm Evantz Saint-Gerard.
And I'm Dean Graber, and I too am very excited about this season and also about our first guest.
All right, our first guest, I'm going to let her introduce herself.
I'm Alison Malkin, first time on this, and I'm super excited to be here.
Well, thank you for being on the program. Alison, tell them where do you work? What's your area of expertise?
So for those of you who know New England, I'm in Connecticut, which is like one little part of the rest of the states in this country. So literally 100 miles north to south, east to west, you have my area. Where I specialize in is what's called the greater Hartford area. And that's where we do most of our business. Although, as I said, the state is so small, you have a client who's coming to Connecticut, let me take care of them anywhere here.
Okay,
all
so
right.
you go all the way to the Massachusetts border?
Yeah,
also?
I actually have a Massachusetts license.
Oh,
good to know.
So I could go over, and in fact, I've done it a couple times. So, I don't do it a lot in Massachusetts, but I certainly can.
All right. So do you have a team or is it just you? How many people are you working with?
So I don't have a team in the normal sense that I have this person does this, this, and this. We have an assistant, my partner and I, who does a lot of the administrative stuff. We do let's go out, let's take care of the customer, let's sell that house, let's help someone buy that house. We're the ones who are out there interacting with the public. And then for the stuff that can be done administratively, we've got an amazing administrator who has a heart of gold, and she's also a broker, and she's also licensed. So she can answer basic questions and stuff. So it's a really nice working system.
and you're a broker too, is that correct?
I am. In fact, I'm the head broker for Remax Ascension. I'm what's called a producing broker, which means I actually do the work every day. Exactly.
All right. And just tell the audience one thing that you shared with me, that as far as traveling not as far to get to your job in the morning to work.
Okay. This is pretty funny. You're making me confess my sins. So I was traveling quite far, and when we decided to buy a Remax franchise, we wanted to buy one in an area that was accessible to everywhere, which we did. It turned out to be Avon, Connecticut, which I'll tell you more about that area later.
Okay.
But I didn't want to travel an hour to work, so I went and found a house 8 minutes from the office, and I sort of bought the office and the house in conjunction so that they were close together. Okay. I'm convenient and I am very efficient.
So you can do that. You can do the same for clients as well.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, I am probably the best agent when it comes to, if someone says, I want to live here and this is where I work, I'll say, are you sure? And I make them do the drive and see if they want to do that. Because even though it's not LA or the LIE down in Long Island, Connecticut during rush hour is a real pain going from one side of the river to the other.
Okay. That's good to know. All right. Speaking of lifestyles, what can people expect out in Connecticut in the parts that you specialize in?
Connecticut's a really great state because it accommodates any lifestyle. If you've got somebody who wants urban, we have actual cities where it has an urban lifestyle. In fact, the town I live in, which is a town of 60,000 people, West Hartford, doesn't sound like much, right? We have something called Blueback Square. It is urbane and urban and stores and shops. And we have a Fleming's Steakhouse. It's really, you would think you're in a small city. All right. But guess what? You've got somebody who wants to hike. We have hiking trails all over Connecticut. We have skiing. We have hiking. We have the arts. We have an incredible museum.
Go back a second. You said you got skiing in Connecticut?
We do. We got this little tiny place called Powder Ridge. And it's skiing, but guess what? We're within an hour of Jiminy Peak. We have access to all the New England ski areas. And that's actually, I think, the most exciting part about Connecticut, because you have your sort of little niche where you live and you have your day-to-day life. Do you realize you go south, you're in in New York City. You go east, you're in Boston. You go north, you're in New England. You have skiing. It's amazing. We're right there for everything.
I remember Jiminy Peak makes a lot of snow.
Jiminy Peak. I grew up skiing there, but we've got Maine. Also, we've got New Hampshire and Vermont. There's so much.
All right. So you have a lot of stuff over there, but let's go back a little, because when we were setting up for this interview, you have mentioned you also have some ties here in New York as well. So tell us a little bit about your background from New York.
So I have a really schizophrenic background. My favorite place in the world, even though I live in Connecticut, is Manhattan. I used to work in the city. I lived in Battery Park City. I was born at LIJ, which I think is called St. Francis now.
Probably.
I lived in Rockville Center on the island when I was little. My best friend lives in Merrick. So I'm a New Yorker at heart. So I'm a little schizophrenic. But I grew up in Connecticut. I actually grew up in Connecticut from second grade on. And I went to college, undergraduate in Massachusetts. So I'm sort of the city, country, suburban girl. You take your pick on any given day.
All right. So with those connections with the from New York to now Connecticut, so you pretty much know what New Yorkers are looking for a lot, especially right now during COVID. A lot of people are looking for a lot more space. So what would you recommend, price points and stuff like that? What would you recommend in your areas?
Well, I can tell you what's really funny about it. All the New Yorkers I'm working with now, they go into shock when they see what they can get. I had someone who came here and said, I have 500,000 and I can't buy anything on the island that I want. And I said, great, you don't have to spend 500,000. Well, no, I want something really good. You don't have to spend 500,000. So in the greater Hartford area, which is where I focus most of my attention on, you could get a 2,000 square foot house completely updated and lovely. The average sale price, take a guess.
I can't.
300,000 during COVID, and normal times, because right now I call it the COVID bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Normal times it's about 275. Okay, you're getting a
Wow.
2,000 square foot house, updated, gorgeous, pristine. Condo, how about 190?
Wait. How much was it for the condo?
190, and you're looking at about average size of about 1,300 square feet.
Wow. Okay. Talk to us about the condos.
Okay, so the condos, it's really interesting. Condos in Connecticut are not like the co-ops and the condos that you see on the island, and in Manhattan, okay? It's a very different feel. They're not big buildings. Don't picture apartment buildings. And New Yorkers will be picturing that. Okay. They're usually either townhouse style, they're like townhouse style, or even 1 and 2 floors, but you really don't see
garden apartments.
Right. Now, in the southern part of the state, you will have some high rise, like in Stamford, you'll see some, and in down a little farther. But again, those are bedroom communities of Manhattan. And by the way, the prices are higher down there. Don't get too excited, folks. Okay. The prices, the average sale price down there, you're looking at more like 600. Okay.
All right.
But those are for the bedroom communities of New York. So for you New Yorkers who are coming up here, you know, we see a lot of, even during non-COVID times, we have beautiful lakes up in our part of the state. And so we have people fighting over that kind of waterfront, and it's so cheap. I sold a little cottage to someone for $250,000 on a lake. Think about that.
That's year-round living?
Yeah, year-round living, yes. Okay, now that's a little one. We're talking like maybe 800 square foot cottage, but it's right on the water. You're not going to find that on water, you know, in Long Island.
No, definitely not at that price.
But it's interesting. Connecticut is sort of like 4 types of properties and New Yorkers that I've seen come up are looking for all different kinds. So let's say you want people who want to be on the shore, the Sound, okay, the Long Island Sound. Obviously, we don't have the ocean here. We have the Sound. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking, you have the New Yorkers who want to be near the water, they're still going to be paying a fraction of what they're looking for down there. You're looking at $600,000 to $1 million for a house, like a big house. Okay, not on the water, but you know, near the water. All right. Okay. On the water, we can go up to 5 million, 10 million too, but those are serious houses. We have a ton of New Yorkers who are going into the water area, so we got that identity. Then we've got sort of like, if you look far right, so far west, far east, and north, those are much more rural areas. You have sleepier towns, New England towns. They can get a ton for $250,000 in those areas. And it's quiet and lovely, but still with access to Boston, New York, et cetera. Then you have my area.
So Boston's what, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
It's pretty much the same, equal distance. Okay, if you're looking at about 100 miles either way.
Oh, that's nothing. Okay.
No, it's nothing. And then if you go straight up 91, so if you're in New York, you guys would be coming up 95 or the Merritt, forget going out the West Way, going straight up. If you continue up through Massachusetts, next you have Vermont. You have Vermont, or you go to the right and you've got New Hampshire and Maine.
Yeah.
All right.
You're the gateway to New England. And we've, in regular times, not just COVID times, lots of New Yorkers like to have second homes up here for that reason. They don't necessarily want to live in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, but they want to sort of be out in the country a little, but have it accessible.
That was going to be my next question, basically, second homes. For the people who are looking for second homes, this sounds like a good place to look at.
Great second home market. And compared to what you see, again, in Queens or Brooklyn, for example, I don't know Long Island so well with the multifamilies, but we have what you could get for 250, 300,000. You can get a 3-family house with a beautiful return on investment, like
Okay.
can't even imagine.
All right. So I like when you mentioned return on investment, because everybody's always looking for that.
Yep.
Absolutely. And they should be.
Now, how far you're only 100 miles from New York. When you say New York, you mean Manhattan?
Yeah, that's New York. Okay. Sorry, Long Islanders. I'm a New York City girl.
Oh, well, yes, but it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about the amenities that are available. You mentioned the highways, basically, that you have access to New York, Boston, and Vermont. What other amenities are in your areas?
Okay, so you have a major international airport called Bradley Field, which is in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. It's a little north of Hartford. I don't think it's international. It'll connect to international. Like for me, I usually will go to Boston or I'll go to Kennedy if I want to go internationally, but absolutely accessible. So that's the biggest airport. We actually also have one in New Haven, and then which is like a medium-sized regional airport. And then of course the little ones. So you have the airports. That's easy. You got the beaches down by the shore. You've got the highways going north, south, east, west. What other kind of amenities? Mostly what I see New Yorkers looking for up here is a quieter way of life and getting more bang for their buck. I mean, the affordability, and figure north of New Haven on, the affordability is crazy compared to what they're used to.
I think a lot of people will like the fact that you're close to skiing, close to the beaches, close to Boston, close to New York.
Right.
And you also
museums, right? Museums. We have Bushnell Theater in Hartford, which has an amazing array for a smaller state. I grew up on Broadway, so it's not Broadway, but for me, it's shocking the wonderful shows they put on, not during COVID, of course.
Okay.
No, I get that.
All right. So what other attractions are there for families, retirees,
Well, Connecticut is the 7th best in education, public education in the country.
Did not know that.
Yeah, huge. People come here for the school systems. They're phenomenal.
All right.
And guess what? I was thinking about retirees. We're the 3rd best health care system in the country.
That's very important. And especially in today's times, that's really good to know.
I had some clients who were selling a house and they were older, and we were looking at the cost of living in other states and where they would go. And this is me, I love my clients. So I was doing this research in the other states, and I was appalled at the quality of healthcare ratings in these other states, as well as the cost. So.
Interesting. You know what? I didn't know that. I don't know who else was aware of that.
Yeah. Connecticut is great for healthcare.
Well, one of the reasons why we put the show together is basically so people can learn a little bit about every state, so they know exactly, they have more options basically. So if they're thinking about going left or right, now they have the answers, and they have people they can reach out to. So Dean, you have any questions?
Well, we covered a lot of the affordability. So do you get people that are retiring from New York coming to Connecticut?
Oh yeah.
Well, right. So there's retirees, there's people just even getting started, that might not want the hustle and bustle of New York, or might not want the high prices of New York. So they might get started there. So it seems like it covers a lot. And also I like the hiking trails that you were mentioning, the parks, everything that it has to offer. Now, what's downtown Hartford? Is that a very busy city, or is it?
Okay, so here's downtown Hartford, folks, okay? Especially for New Yorkers. Brace yourself. It's very pretty and it's very efficient. And my husband, who also, by the way, is from Brooklyn, it's probably the deadest city at night you'll ever see, okay?
Wow,
it's just quiet. It's funny. It has some amazing restaurants. So, of course, there's restaurant activity. And you have Bushnell, which is the theater. But and then, you have the club scene. But if you come from a place like New York, at least for me, it was so quiet. So it's a city.
people go there to work in the day and then they go home to the suburbs.
Exactly. They go to all the suburbs. Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Well, you mentioned one of my favorite subjects, food.
Okay.
So
Mine too.
let's jump into the food. Basically, what is your area known for food wise?
I don't think Hartford area is known for one particular one. One of the things I love about Hartford is you have all these small, different types of food. So you can get Asian, you can get West Indies, you can get Greek. The whole south end of Hartford used to be Greek and Italian only, and now we've got Eastern European restaurants from all these different cultures that are phenomenal.
All right, I'm
So,
gonna put you on the spot right now. What's your
oh no,
favorite?
you come up, we'll take you to some. There are great restaurants.
I'm
Great restaurants.
I'm
That's
definitely
just
gonna hold you to
Hartford.
that. But what's
You're
your
totally
favorite?
good.
What's your favorite?
Oh God, depends on the day. So for American, I love ribeye steak. So I will not eat steak if I can't have a good one because I'm a steak snob. I absolutely love Greek food. I love Persian food. I love Jamaican food. I love Chinese food.
All right, if you can only have one,
Now I'm getting starved.
all
I
right,
know, me too.
if you can only have one, basically for the rest of the week, which one would it be?
Oh God. On a daily basis, probably Greek.
Or
When I was in Greece, I didn't want to leave.
Any specific Greek food?
Oh no, anything. The vegetables, the Greek vegetables, I don't know, are the best vegetables in the world. And I love how they do their lamb. I love how they do everything. I love moussaka. I love spanakopita.
I love that too. I was
Mhm.
waiting for you to bring it up. I'm like, yes.
Yes.
All right. So, what are fun things that people can do to keep busy during COVID and post-COVID, basically in your areas?
One of the things that's really been neat is neighborhoods and towns are really banding together. I love it. For example, the kids who don't get to see their classmates in school, people are always coming up with plans so that they do a little parade. Let's say it's somebody's birthday, they do parades past their house and
Okay.
wave. There's, aside from the Zoom for actual classrooms for kids and adults, lots of people are getting together and doing movies and concerts. There's so many free concerts right now that's available on the web. Concerts, movies, shows. Hamilton was one I had tried to get tickets for I can't even tell you how long.
A lot of people were trying.
I couldn't get the tickets, and I finally got to see it when it came out. And we had a big Hamilton party. And what's funny is that my undergraduate major in college was history, but it was European. And I'm like, American history. Hamilton was magnificent. So yes, we have lots of viewing parties. Lots of when it was warmer. We're going to see less of it now where people are outside together in neighborhoods. Lots of the neighborhoods, even the urban. So urban, suburban, and rural, all of them. A lot of people just are reaching out to each other. So it's been really nice.
Oh, that sounds good.
All right. So if you have to sum it up, what's the best kept secret in your town?
And you knew that question was coming though.
Yep.
I did. And what was really funny is that everything we have talked about is the best kept secret. I've lived in a lot of places and I have never lived, and it's not just because I lived here as a child. I've never lived in a state that served all manner of people. We have amazing education, amazing healthcare, amazing things to do. We have amazing sports. We have a little bit of everything. And what little we don't have,
Right.
we're within 100 miles of it. It serves something for everybody.
All right. That's
Where do
great.
you get to ski and go in the water at the same time, right?
Honestly, I'm trying to picture that in my mind right now, and I'm just like,
There isn't. It's amazing.
my brain can't compute with what you just said right there.
Okay.
All right. So, what makes home in your area? If you had to sum everything up.
I don't know what you mean by home.
Well, when you think of Connecticut and the part that you live in, where your clients, majority of your clients go to, what makes that home for them? What's the common thing?
I would say that there is a slowdown from where they've come from enough that they can appreciate the 4 seasons of the year, that they can snuggle in front of a fire in the winter. They can play outside and make snowmen in the summer. It makes it home because it's a snuggle, warm, lovely place to live with lovely people. People are
All right.
welcoming. When we moved into this house a year and a half ago, I swear to God, every neighbor came over to say hi. And in fact, I went away on a business trip about 2 weeks later, and my husband, who's from Brooklyn, called me up and he said, I just got more muffins. I'm going to shoot myself. I'm going to gain 100 pounds. That stupid thing you see like in Gilmore Girls, that is Connecticut. It really is.
So if people wanting to slow down, they see your part of town is where they need to be.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
awesome. All right, well, I don't have any other questions. Dean, do you have?
I think we've covered.
Well, you haven't asked me why I'm special.
All right, well, I'm glad you brought it up. Why are you special?
Well, the reason I bring it up is because I think what differentiates me from everyone else are two things. My heart and my passion, which I think you can sense.
Yes.
But my background, I've been in real estate and finance, mortgage finance for 35 years, okay? And my secret weapon is my ability. The whole finance world is mine. Like, I know it. My sellers choose the right people because they get the right advice from me on the people who are having financing. And my buyers, the finance knowledge, I don't even understand the level of not understanding finance. So it's a secret weapon. And the other one is my ability to negotiate contracts. I laugh every day because some agents are out there thinking the way to negotiate is pound someone into the ground. And of course they get less. My buyers pay less and get more done on home inspections, and my sellers net more in their pocket, just because negotiating is making sure there's the meeting of the minds. So those two pieces, I think, really makes a difference.
I knew I liked you because I so relate to those last couple of things with the finance part and the
You were in mortgages too?
Yeah, 25 years.
Okay, so there you go. That's awesome. That's really cool.
I-
And does
I
it make a difference?
I use that as a tool because when we're speaking to buyers or sellers, especially with qualifying buyers and on co-ops, because they have to meet the board requirements also. So I know who's qualified and who's not. I don't, no matter what we're told, we still take our own.
And you know what a proprietary lease is, and you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So with all that being said, with those special tools that you guys said that basically they need to have if they're going to move forward on their next move, like the little segue I just did it. Anyway, so they want to know, how do they reach you if they're looking, you know what, this sounds like the place we need to be. How do they reach you?
Okay. Call, text, email. Here, let me give you my phone number.
Yes,
it's
please.
860-214-8008. Call me. We'll talk and we'll see what makes best sense for your clients.
All right, awesome.
Cool.
Thank you so much. Give us the number one more time.
Sure. It's 860-214-8008.
Thank you for being the season premiere. So it's going to be tough to top this one. So we're going to have a really good season. So Dean, how can they reach you basically if they're looking to sell?
Call
and move forward.
Call or text to 516-527-9549.
And they can reach me at my cell, which is 917-975-5985. And Dean, what's our website?
mynyhomesales.com.
Anyway, this has been Evantz.
And Dean.
And Allie.
And Allie, we want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends about this this podcast, this video cast, this video series. Let them know. And thank you for watching. So bye.
Bye. Thank you.